Yo, everybody, how's it going? It's Leak. I'm here for the sports recap of the week. This week is crazy. Not as crazy as the last couple of weeks, but it's crazy. We got some suspensions to talk about. People getting suspended, people coming off of suspension, uh, quarterbacks getting benched mid game, and possible trades. So yeah, y'all go ahead, get in there. I'll see y'all in a bit. So last week I had a few key games that I was gonna pay attention to, gonna watch and keep a very close eye on. Um, those games were Washington versus Dallas, Eagles come here to Minnesota, Bucks Lions, Raiders Chiefs, and Rams Jags. I'm gonna talk about those first. Let's get into it. So first, I'll talk about the absolute spanking that happened in Texas. That was the Dallas Washington game. It was a little bit of a slow start, but then Dallas jumped out to a 27-15 lead at halftime. That's crazy. Jaden Daniels had to go through some injury things. He was not playing. The final was 44-22. The Cowboys doubled up on them. Dak having yet another MVP caliber performance at 21 for 30, 264 yards and 3 touchdowns, no picks. What more can you ask for from a franchise quarterback? What more can you ask for? Not to mention the defense is doing good for what it is. Right? For what it is. It's doing good. Doing great. Doing great. We'll talk about more about the Cowboys defense later. I got more things on that. So now I want to talk about the Philly Minnesota game, and Carson Wentz was just not playing good. My vape fell. But no. Carson Wentz was just not playing good in the slightest. He had threw 2 picks back to back. One of them was for a pick six, I believe. Yeah, he threw a pick that was returned for a six in the second quarter. Yeah, yeah, it was bad. I mean, it wasn't like terrible because like they did come back a little bit. Wait, what am I talking about? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I'm tired and I'm high. It. No, they didn't. The score was like 24-9 or something. They didn't come back. What am I talking about? What I do know, Jalen Hurts went 19 for 23, 326, and 3 touchdowns, no picks. They had like no running yards. They had like no running yards, and that's what they got to do. That's what they have to do now because they know they have Saquon, so they have a good running game, and they had yeah multiple receivers over 100 yards. It was crazy. Well, I actually probably should have started this segment talking about this game because there ain't much to talk about. The Rams versus Jags. The Jags got blown out, 35-7. And what's even crazier is that I heard the Rams flew there the day before and left the same day of the game, like after the game. Huh? They didn't practice on the field, bro. They didn't practice on the field. No, I'm not gonna lie. I actually could have started it with a couple of different games, cause that Raiders Chiefs game was not pretty. Not pretty. Rasheed Rice had 2 touchdowns. So he came back and was going crazy. The Raiders offense was just not doing literally anything. They weren't doing anything. Nothing at all. They weren't doing anything. I don't know. I don't know. It was 31-0. I heard a stat from Shanna Sharp and Chad Johnson, Uncle Ocho. They said the Chiefs had as many first downs as the Raiders had plays in the entire game. Like, and it was some crazy. It was only like 30. Like it wasn't a lot. Raiders, hello? What are we doing? The Bucks versus Lions, that was not what I expected, honestly. I thought it'd be a back and forth game the whole time. Now, granted, it was just misfires all around from the Bucks. Baker was not playing good, but Mike Evans got hurt mid game. Or did he get hurt mid game? I think he got hurt mid game, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't good. The Lions went ahead 14-3 early. They won 24-9. So, I mean, just like bad game. Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do there. So now that I've got the key games out the way, I'll get started with the rest of the stuff, and it'll be just like normal. So, first, Dre Greenlaw got punched. Or, what am I talking about? He didn't get punched. He got suspended for one game. I think that's the dude who punched Juju. So, I think that's why I said that. Uh, Tua Tagovailoa. There we go. That's his full name. Got benched mid-game for Quinn Ewers. Didn't matter. They suck. Justin Fields got benched mid-game for Tyrod Taylor. Doesn't matter. They suck. uh, Tyrod Taylor was going to start this next week, but now he might be injured and he's considered day-to-day. So there's that. So Tua is just bad. Tua's bad. I don't know if he's disencouraged, like he just doesn't feel good about playing. Like, something's messing with him mentally. I know it could be messing with him mentally. It's all them goddamn concussions, but outside of that, what's going on with him? Is there a point we feel bad? Do y'all feel bad? I don't feel bad. And Tua always happens to have good receivers around him. Like, he always has decent receivers around him, but he can't get it done. So it's like, do we feel like, you know? Let's be real. Dallas and Jerry Jones are about to play games with George Pickens. We just know how the track record goes. He's going crazy, so he deserves to stay, but they need to pay Dak, and they won't have money to pay George Pickens if they pay Dak, so there's all this going on. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how does Dallas how do we think Dallas is going to go about having Dak restructure his contract considering the numbers he's putting up so far this season? Like, how do we do that? They have to make money for cap because they're not going to have any, they're going to go negative. And that's not, no, you don't want that. Jacoby Brissett. That's a name we ain't heard in a while. Even though the Cardinals aren't doing all that good, they're still performing. Like, he's doing pretty good still. Like, if you go look at the stats. Should I pull up the stats? Let's go look. Hold on. All right, so I've got the stats pulled up here on my other screen. So far, part of the regular season here, I think he's only played, it's about to be week 7. He's played 5 games. 4 or 5 games, something like that. He's got 600 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick over 4 or 5 games. Now, granted, 600 yards is probably a little bit on the lower side. I want to say it's a little bit on the lower side. He had 321 game, 279 the other. Oh, he only actually really played 2 games. So he ain't doing bad. He's not doing bad filling in for Kyler, not at all. Not at all. But that really just, guys, you know what? No, guys. We need to have a conversation about Kyler Murray. He's kind of fucking stinky. No, like, he's actually kind of stinky. It's weird. It's weird. Nah, you know what it is? You know what it is, chap? He's just stuck in that awkward middle where he's not like going crazy every game and elevating the Cardinals, but he's not dog water either. You know, like he's just in that middle. He's in that middle where he's like, the Cardinals don't want to move on from him because he's not playing bad. He's not. He's not playing bad. But he's not doing anything crazy either. I don't know. How y'all feel about Kyler Murray? Y'all let me know. I was just talking about this to a friend the other day. Indianapolis is working some kind of black magic over there with Danny Dimes. Because they beat the Chargers 38-24. Now, albeit the Chargers are being weird. I don't know what's up with the Chargers. They're dropping games they shouldn't be dropping. But what they got Indiana Jones doing? What they got him doing over there? It's so crazy. So, not really another. I don't know why I said another, but a crazy coincidence happened. The Broncos, the Broncos inducted Demaryius Thomas into the Ring of Fame. Right? Because, he passed away, RIP, and, right? So, boom. Just keep in mind his number is 33. 33, right? The Broncos were held to a goose egg all game. First 3 quarters of the game, held to a goose egg by the Giants. They scored 33 in the fourth quarter to come back and beat the Giants to 33-30. That was all Demaryius, bro. That was all him. And y'all know that. In other news, nothing has changed. The Titans are still ass. Since I didn't really talk about the specific games on the specific days, I'm going to do it right now. Thursday, Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati. It was back and forth all game. Freiermuth was going dumb. Aaron Rodgers was playing like he was in his prime. Joe Flacco practiced once with the team and led them to a victory. It was so crazy. Oh, yeah. Another thing. I was watching this game. I looked down for maybe 10 seconds. Like for one play. And Pittsburgh scored. It was like 2nd and 20. I was like, it was like 2nd and 20. They was on like their 30. It was very wild. And Bengals stole the game 33-31. And then now we got the Texans and Seahawks. Sam Darnold played a very sloppy game. But it's okay because Smith and Jigba is him. He's him. He had 123 yards. It was crazy. It was crazy. And just because I said I was going to get into it later, Maxx Crosby, the defensive end on the Raiders, literally the only piece on the Raiders, might be getting traded to the Cowboys. Maybe. One can hope, but also at the same time, I don't want that to happen because Jerry Jones is going to get a fucking ego, and I don't want that. I want Jerry Jones to learn his goddamn lesson. Anyways, on that note, that's the end of the NFL stuff that I got. I will say, the NBA season started. The Lakers lost to the Warriors last night. I watched that game. And the Rockets beat whoever they faced. KD and them beat whoever they faced. I like the Bucks. I don't care about them two teams. No, the Bucks do play tonight. They play tonight at 7. They play the Wizards. They play the Wizards. I'll talk about that next week. These videos are going to get a lot longer. Now, I'm going to start talking about SmackDown. It's time for SmackDown. First thing I want to talk about on SmackDown, it was the women's tag team match for the belts. It was a pretty good match. Charlotte and Alexa versus Zaria and Sol Ruca from NXT. It was a good match. It was pretty good. It was back and forth. It was pretty competitive the whole time. Until there was a girl in the audience by the name of Blake Monroe who's over here distracting Sol Ruka from doing what needs to be done, and then she got jumped, rolled in the ring, figure eight leg lock, tap out. And then on Tuesday, just yesterday, because I'm recording this on Wednesday, just yesterday, Tuesday, Sol Ruka announced she was injured because of that. And now Zaria's defending the North American Championship against Blake Monroe at Halloween Havoc, I think next week. But then absolute madness ensues as Sami Zayn comes out for his open title match. He's initially answered by The Miz, who's coming out cutting the promo talking about you're doing all these open challenges and this, that. Carmelo come out and give him a smack, give him his get back from last week. Getting his get back from last week. And then we hear the music we ain't heard in so long. It's him. Ilya Dragunov. It was Ilya Dragunov. He finally makes his return. It was so crazy. The pop was nasty. It was good. Overall, though, the match was fire. The match was fire. The match was so bang. It was so good. And it even ended in Ilya Dragunov pinning Sami Zayn. That only means Sami Zayn is winning the Royal Rumble because it's in Saudi. WWE, you once again spoil your plans. But then, at the end of that, the MFTs came out, Solo and the MFT, they came out and just laid waste to every Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov. They just laid waste to him. No reason whatsoever. But then they got interrupted by the Wyatt Six, so I definitely think this is War Games. That's got to be War Games, right? Right? There's got to be War Games. They got, Wyatt Six interrupted them with it was a Bo Dallas vignette. That was, it was good. We need some more of those. More Bo Dallas vignettes. So before SmackDown, it got let out maybe last week, Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, that Jacob Fatu was injured with an undisclosed non-wrestling injury. And so now, fast forward to SmackDown, Drew and Jacob, they got a match. They're scheduled for a match. Jacob's music hits. Camera backstage. He got beat up. He's laid out. Or not laid out, really, because he was kind of stumbling around to get up, Yeah, blood coming out of his mouth. So he's written off TV. He's written off TV by Drew. Feels bad for Drew, bro. Drew just keeps getting all his feuds ripped out from under him. It's so crazy. But the crazier thing is Drew still goes out. He still goes out and he grabs a mic and he's like, I had a match for the #1 contendership. I still demand the match. Right? So he's yelling with Nick Aldis. I did this fucking last week. I did it last week. Me from the future played a clip. So Drew is arguing with Nick Aldis, and then Cody's music doesn't even hit. You hear him yell like he has a mic backstage, and he's yelling, and he's like, enough, you know what you did. You won a #1 contenders match. You got it right here. And he's in a full suit, by the way, guys. He's in a full fucking, suit. He's got the suit jacket buttoned. He's got the vest on, and he's got a dress shirt on. He was in a full suit, bro. So he comes out there. He's like, you want a #1 contendership match? I'll give it to you. And then so he marches down to the ring, takes off his suit jacket and the vest, and he fights in his dress clothes. Bro, crazy thing is, it was actually a pretty good match too. It was actually a decent match. And then Cody must have just got mad and fucking banged him in the face with the belt. And it looks like we'll probably end up be getting Drew versus Cody again at Survivor Series. just based off how the show ended. The show ended with Cody diving off the ropes onto all the refs and all the security and Drew and you know. So now moving on to Monday Night Raw. Before the show started, it came out Lillian Garcia would be filling in for Alicia Taylor, which is cool. Nostalgia fun, right? I grew up listening to Lillian Garcia be the announcer, so it was fun for me. So immediately kicking off the show, Seth Rollins is essentially stripped of the World Heavyweight Championship due to his injury. Braun Breaker was being kind of a doucher and making Adam Pearce say please and all this other stuff. But there was a battle royale. Late at the main event was a battle royale, and they had Jey Uso win said battle royale. Kind of confused about it. I think I'll get into it later. I'll talk about it at the end. But after the Nick Aldis segment, chat, look at me. I'm gonna leave this clip in. I'm leaving this one in. What am I doing? Dude, literally in my mind right now, I'm arguing with myself. How did you just call Adam Pearce Nick Aldis when you get Nick Aldis So like I was saying, after the Adam Pearce segment, there was a men's tag team match for the tag team belts. And in that match, it was the Judgment Day, the champions, versus AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Now it's a little bit of a weird pairing, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, but they've been seen backstage together. Cool, whatever. And AJ Styles is a good dude to use to bring up some talent. Now, I don't know why. Dragon Lee doesn't need help. He doesn't need, like, that guy. Like, he doesn't need a vet rub. He's already won multiple singles gold in WWE, like, multiple times. He doesn't need that veteran rub. But it's fine. It's AJ Styles. The match was crazy good, though. It was crazy good. If I can remember correctly, Dom was getting involved. And I think Rusev came out to chase down Dom. Something like that. Penta came out. It was a lot of stuff. But we have new tag team champions in AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Flamingo. So Jimmy and Jay are backstage, and they have them a little conversation. They have them a little conversation about the events of last week, and then they were kind of getting heated, and Jimmy was like, "Yo, make sure you got all, make sure you good, you got everything, cause I'm going in," and he was like, "And I'm going in on everybody, even you," and he was talking to Jay, so. Yeah, it was crazy. So that happened, and then they dapped up, went their separate ways. So now it's occurred to me that I am fusing events in my head because Rusev and Dom have a match for the IC title. It actually got off to a hot start. Rusev was coming down the ramp. Dom dives at him as he's coming down the ramp. He was diving at him. He dove at him, threw him into the steps, got a good little start. However, it did seem to prove useless. Rusev just bounced right back. Was looking like Zangief. It was in control regardless of that happening. Penta showed up, but got neutralized literally right away. Like deadass, he popped out and got hit with some, like literally immediately. I don't even know what the point of that was. And then Dom went for the same tactics that with the hammer in the boot. Rusev caught him. Threw the hammer. But then Dom did the other thing and just kicked him in the nuts, respectively. And then proceeded that was a 619 splash, 1-2-3. Dom retains once again. Let's go. So for some reason they had a lot of the same titles on the card. They had a lot of same titles being defended throughout the week because now it was a women's Intercontinental Championship match between Maxine Dupree and Becky Lynch. This match is happening because, the ref fast counted Becky out. I think that's still great. I still think that's great. My phone fell. Oh my goodness. But you can clearly tell Maxine's been putting in that work because that was a crazy good match. Had crazy counters. It was good. The crowd was super behind Maxine. It was good. However, the match ended in a DQ because Becky just fucking binks her with the goddamn title. So, we're not done there. We're not done there. Do I say this ends in Maxine beating Becky Lynch for the IC title? Is that where this goes? Y'all let me know. Is that where this goes? And then it was Stephanie Vaquer versus Roxanne Perez, because if you remember last week, she came out and interrupted her during her promo about her talking about the Crown Jewel Championship. And so now we have this match. I caught it that time. Match was going good. It was a pretty back and forth match the entire time. There was devil's kisses. There was moonsaults from Roxanne. The whole shebang the entire time. But then Raquel started getting she started interfering in the match. Stephanie jumps from the top rope to get rid of Raquel. Then she goes back, hits that spiral tap-esque finisher. It's not quite a spiral tap, but it is a little bit. Y'all can debate that if that's a spiral tap or not. I don't care. Hits the spiral tap, gets the 1-2-3. Raquel comes in and jumps her. And then the you can look, but you can't touch hits. And for some reason, Nikki Bella comes out and saves Stephanie. It's giving like you want your friends close but your enemies closer. Like she's gonna end up snaking her in the end and being like, I want that title, essentially. So now, as I was saying earlier, there was that battle royale for the number one contendership. It had all sorts of crazy names. It had Dom, it had Rusev, it had Penta, it had the entire Judgment Day. Dom, Penta, Penta, Rusev, it had AJ Styles. It was good. It was a good battle royale. There was lots of storylines within it, so it was good like that. But then the craziest thing happens. There's 3 people left. It's Jimmy, it's Jay, it's LA Knight. Right? So Jay gets knocked down. Jimmy's fighting LA Knight. Now, Jimmy goes to eliminate LA Knight. They kind of get caught up on the top ropes a little bit. Like, they're kind of like balancing on him. Finna fall over him type. And JC's, he watches. It looks like he's about to run up and save Jimmy, but he just kind of like gives him the knee. Like he kind of, just gives him a little one of those. And I think that's completely out of left field. Even though I'm pointing to the right, I'm looking at my, from the way this is the right, I'm pointing to the right. It was way out of left field. I think Jay has no fucking right. He ain't got no goddamn right to do that. That is crazy. That's crazy, and it's gonna cost him at Sunday night's main event where Jay Uso will face CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Wait, speaking about Saturday night's main event, isn't that the only match we know? It's only the World Heavyweight Championship match, right? Okay, well, So I'm on Sports Kita here, and and they they predicting some matches. So they got an IC title match, Dom versus Penta versus Rusev. They got Carmelo versus Miz, which makes sense. Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella versus the Judgment Day. I don't know. We'd have to see what happens next week to know. And then this is probably happening. Cody versus Drew for the title. That's probably happening. Other than that, though, that's all I got. That's all I got, y'all. That is all from me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video, whatever it may be. 2XKO Kingdom Hearts this. Who knows? I'll see y'all later. Y'all be safe. Subscribe, like, comment. Thank you.